Alright, hello and welcome back to another episode of Dunes the series, where I build my dungeon crawling deck building game. And as you could probably tell by the time lapse, the lobby is completely done. Now that means I have these in here, which are going to collect chalices, which win you points in the game, but of course that'll come later. And then I have this nice display out here, which shows the rewards that one may be able to get during the competition. But then the rest of the work was up here. The crystal shop is what we did in the last episode, and it's been working ever since. Right now I actually have it turned off, and I'm like working on like remaking all the cards in a different style and kind of adding and removing some things that I didn't really seem fit. And I'm kind of embarrassed. Forgot to show something in the last episode. By the way, the Easter eggs are all finally in place with their books and everything. And even the rule books and stuff are out here, and most of this is just rough draft, so take it with a pinch of salt. But what is the thing I forgot to show in here, you may ask? Deck ranks. That's right, it's official. Deck ranks will be the new way to show how good your deck actually is, and they will be ranked by me between every phase. Now sadly, I am waiting for the Shulker Plus mod to update so that I can utilize this, but when it does update, this will be very cool. Enough of that. As I go over here, I had to replace the game progress meter back to lights instead of the light LED display because it just wasn't working with the rest of the redstone, sadly. I wish I could have gotten that to work. It would have been so good. And it just uses the same redstone as the difficulty slider, which actually, I need to show how the redstone works for this episode. And here I am, and I suppose I'll start with this over here. This is where you'll submit your deck. So if I get a shulker, place that down, and then get, I don't know, a resin brick, put it in there. It doesn't matter what's in there, as long as there's something in there. Throw it up against the lamp, and it takes it. Now instead of it dinging like it just did, it'll actually go through a custom sound that I'll put in, and that will be sent down to the card processor. Now this over here is the difficulty selector. I did not design this, but it was too good of a design to pass up. The only thing I added really is this up here, and this just dispenses like a map and a compass. So say like we choose this difficulty, and then we put the deck into there, the thing I showed before, and then it'll send a signal here, and it dispensed the two items. And I believe I got this design from Mayazuma Games. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But next up on the list is the barrel item detector thing. Yes, that is the official name. And basically what this does is when you are starting a run, you'll put all of your items in the barrels. And all this is doing is it'll detect if items are in any of these. So if I take all this out, the redstone line turns off. I put them in the bottom one, turns on, top one turns on. And basically what this does is it locks the door so you can't open it while you have items in here. And it'll scream at you. It'll tell you, take your items or something. And then it'll just be a good reminder, hey, get your items, and then you can open the door. And then over here is the kind of game end redstone almost. This barrel here is like a simple, like when you get your deck back after a run, it'll do that. That's simple. I've showed something similar to that before. But the button right below this is the actual game end. And basically this is a one-way thing. You can only press this once and it won't go again. Nothing will happen. And the reason why you can't press it multiple times is because I don't want people to end the game and then keep trying to end the game and then break stuff, because it doesn't make sense to end the game when the game's already over. So this only kind of goes back when the game starts. As you see there, it'll extend back. And then of course I can force end. Say if they win a run, it'll go to this line. But if they lose, they'll have to press this. Now this over here is the trash can for the Dungeon Master room. This one's simple. Items just go in, they go out onto a cactus and die. Now this over here is the door to get into the Dungeon Master room. This will be only accessible by me because only I will have armor. So if I think equip, no, it's unequip, right? Yeah. And then there's a pressure plate on the other side to get back out. Basically what it is it's a calibrated skulk sensor on, what is it? What is it set to? 4. It's set to 4. And then once it detects it, it lights up this redstone, holds the signal for a little bit while the door is open. And then this just brings it back around so you can get out easy. So the redstone is very simple for today, but that is how that works. Now let's go into the game and actually show it off. And back in the Dunes world. So to start this off, we are going to need a sand shard. And let's just go through the full experience, shall we? So now we'll walk through here, we'll set our spawn. I forgot the deck. We now have our deck, but once you've set your spawn and you've done all that, you need to put all of your items into the barrels that you're not taking into the dungeon with you. There's some items you can take and some items you can't. That'll probably be in the rulebook, I think. And then obviously there's signs up here that'll tell you exactly what to do with each of these little redstone bits. This one opens this door. Store all of your personal items in the barrels. After a run, make sure all of your items have been collected. The door will not open if there are items in the barrels. And then over here, light signifies when your items are in the barrel. This takes some time, just be patient. In game, only press if you died in the dungeon. Store all your items and sleep in the bed, or else. Well, I have done all of that, so I'll have my deck. And then let's say I'd go humble for this one. I think eventually I want to add sounds when you press these buttons because it's just clicking, which I'm not a fan of. So I might add custom sounds. And then once you're done with everything, you'll submit your deck. And then you'll be gifted the minecart ride. Sit in the minecart and press the button. Don't get out of the minecart at any point. I hope these instructions are very simple. They should be. But yeah, you'll get in and you'll press the button. And then it'll wait and then it'll send you off. And this will be the shortest run of Dunes ever. Alright, and now that I have died, I won't be able to get out or back in here, so whenever my deck comes back, it won't now because it's not hooked up to anything. But if it did, I wouldn't even be able to get in there. But since I died in the dungeon, technically, the only thing to do is to press this button. Boom. And then, obviously, if I press it again, nothing happens. Sweet. Now, if we try to leave and we have our items in the barrel, we'll get the voice message that I just recorded. Now, it is a little cringy, but I kind of had fun with it and I kind of like it. So, here goes nothing.
Take your items or I'll feed them to the Ravagers.
Heck yeah, dude. That's so cool. But I'll take my items this time and then open the door. As you can see, it works. And then the game will be on resetting. This has turned out very good. The entire lobby is done, except for maybe a little things here and there. But now I think I can finally get to working on the dungeon itself. I have been waiting for this. I have been cooking behind the scenes, getting every level perfect. But as always, that is next week. So tune in next week where I will be making the ride and the entrance into level 1. And I'll catch y'all next time. Bye.
The dungeon is ready for its next victim.